I'm deeply honored to be invited to the 19th edition of Africa International Housing Show, which is a premier forum for collaboration and innovation in Africa's housing landscape. The Africa International Housing Show stands as the continent's largest and most influential platform dedicated to the housing and construction sectors. Over the years, it has evolved from a local initiative into a Pan-African movement, fostering innovation, driving policy dialogue, and catalyzing real change in housing delivery and urban development across Africa. The theme of this year, Reimagining Housing Through Innovation, Collaboration, and Policy, reflects the urgent need to rethink Africa's housing landscape with fresh ideas, strong partnerships, and effective public policy. The significance of reliable data in this regard is not in doubt at all. It guides policy formulation, fosters investors' confidence, and supports sustainable solutions to the housing challenges in our continent. The housing sector acts as a cornerstone of economic development, creating jobs in construction, manufacturing, finance, and beyond, while directly improving the quality of life of millions of Nigerians. With the recent release of the result of the rebasing of Nigerian GDP, we have achieved a more comprehensive understanding of our economy, with the reference here having shifted to incorporate emerging sectors and capture recent economic dynamics, including the growing importance of real estate and housing within our national output. The rebased GDP figures reveal that the real estate sector now accounts for 10.7%, up from 6.2%, while the construction sector now accounts for 5.20% of our total GDP. The combination of both sectors accounts for a substantially larger proportion of Nigerian GDP, increasing from 12.4% of total GDP to 15.9%. While this 3.5 percentage point increase may seem like a small increase, in value terms, we are talking about 14.6 trillion naira increment. This is highly significant by any measure and by any standard, and reflects the expansion of housing activities from urban development to infrastructure projects, underscoring the sector's growing influence in our economy. Growth in the real estate sector, which essentially involves the buying and selling of properties, including the management of the facilities, outpaced several traditional industries, contributing not only to GDP, but also to employment, to innovation, and value addition across supply chains. It is now ranked the third largest contributor to total GDP, overtaking crude oil and natural gas, due to proper coverage of both formal and informal operators in this economic activity. Nigerian population has surpassed 200 million, with projection indicating continued rapid growth. The United Nations estimated that by 2015, Nigeria will be the third most populous country in the world, resulting in an exponential increase in housing demand. Urbanization trends are accelerating. Over half of the Nigerian population is expected to reside in urban centers within the next decade. This will be fueled by migration, youth demographics, and changing lifestyles. This urban influx intensifies the pressure on the existing housing stock and centers and creates tremendous opportunity for new developments. Access to affordable housing, be it in terms of ownership or rent, is natural human's desire and development objective. This is enshrined in the Sustainable Development Goal SDG 11 of the Global Development Agenda, which deals with ensuring access for all to adequate, safe, and affordable housing and basic services and upgrade slum by the year 2030. Available data indicates that only 38.2% of urban dwellers own their own houses, making over 60% of those living in the urban area not having their own properties that they live in. This is not only highlight the need for more housing, but also underscore the significant opportunity and demand in the rental market. Investment in housing and construction generate powerful multiplier effects, stimulating demand for materials such as cement, steel, glass, tiles, and providing livelihood for millions of manufacturing, trade, and professional services. Given these new realities in the housing space, the demand and opportunities that exist within the sector, the need for more granular and sector-specific data on housing, real estate, and construction is now more apparent than ever. Till now, the available data on housing have been generated through general household or establishment-based surveys, where only little information on the sector is collected, analyzed, and reported. With the increased contribution and relevance of the sector, more investment is needed to produce the data required to maximize the potential and exploit the opportunity within this sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at the NBS, we possess the necessary manpower and technical expertise to collect and produce the required data for the sector. However, they require the right resource investment, and we are counting on you, all the stakeholders here present, to make this happen. As you all know, government investment alone cannot fully meet the demand of housing in Nigeria, or indeed in Africa. Similarly, government investment alone is not sufficient for producing the sector-specific data that is needed by users in this sector. I'm therefore calling on private sector and development partners to complement government efforts, enabling the production and collection of much needed data on a sustainable basis. I know the Honorable Minister is doing a lot in this area with the committee set up now, but we need to really commit resources to achieve that. Additionally, continuous investment in the data infrastructure will ensure that decision makers at all levels of government are equipped with the right insights to drive innovation and accountability in housing delivery. The National Bureau of Statistics stands ready as a steadfast partner committed to providing robust, timely, and actionable data to support your efforts in building a dynamic, inclusive, and prosperous housing sector for Nigeria and Africa. Presently, we are working as a core member of the 13-member steering committee on the National Housing Data Center in Nigeria. The committee is tasked with developing the framework and modality for setting up the National Housing Data Center and creating a framework for data collection from public and private institutions, as well as designing a framework for distributing housing data to institutional and retail investors in the Nigerian financial sector. It is our belief that with those ongoing efforts championed by the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development and the synergy with all relevant stakeholders in this sector, Nigeria can rise to meet the demand of the right housing data, as well as adequate, affordable, and sustainable housing for the citizens.